live every Monday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hosted by me, your girl Ashia. Join me as I discuss social topics, spotlight independent artists, and share financial tips. Come on in and join the conversation. I want to hear what you have to say. Think Different TV, where minds meet.
You're the reason I wake up, the reason I smile.
What's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? Welcome to Think Different TV, the 51st episode of Think Different TV, where minds meet. I am your host, Lashia. What's up, y'all? How was y'all weekend? Can y'all believe we only have 2 weeks left in 2022? Did it just fly by for you guys? Is it just me? I just feel like it just flew by for me. I mean, I feel like this year just started. It was like literally yesterday. I just started Think Different TV, which is every Monday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, and 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Shout out to my TDTV fam all over the country. I appreciate you guys. You could be anywhere tonight, but you decide to be right here with me tonight on this day. Had the holidays right around the corner. So I thank you so much. Listen, guys, it has been a crazy couple of weeks getting prepared for the holidays. Am I right? I mean, those who do celebrate the holidays, I know have been running around like chickens with the head cut off. Unless you're a smart shopper like me and just order everything on Amazon. I just took a night. I said, okay, I want to order everything. And I said, make sure that is delivered before Christmas. And boom, my Christmas shopping was done. I usually wait to the last minute, but not too much last minute because I do want it to get here on time for Christmas. So, guys, it is a lot going on. There's a lot going on. But before we even get into the rest of the show, I got to shout out my sponsor. My sponsor is Euphoria Water. Euphoria Water is the cleanest, healthiest water in Philly. Alkaline water and minerals. No chemicals, no additives, none of that crazy stuff in it. It is good and good for you. If you're going to hydrate the right way. Get you Euphoria Water today. You can find Euphoria Water on Euphoria Water on IG. UPHORIAWATER, or you can call up Captain if you live in the Philadelphia area and you want that water delivered to your home. You can call Captain at 267-707-8279. I know I've been drinking my water like crazy because tis the season to be jolly, but also tis the season for it to be a whole bunch of germs in the air. Okay, so definitely had to get my Euphoria Water ready, keep myself hydrated. Shout out to Imitation by Jarrell. This is Queen, been backing me up since the beginning of the year. Let me move this over a little bit so y'all see that craziness on the wall right there. All right. It's still gonna be in the way. Hold on. There we go. All right. Just make sure my camera right. Make sure everything is correct tonight because we got a lot to get into. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell on my YouTube channel so you don't miss out on any new episodes, replays, or exclusive interviews from Think Different TV. Also, let's share the love by sharing the live. After you share, comment, hashtag TDTV. All right, let's get into this, guys. Let's get this party started. Y'all know what time it is. It is time for our Hit It and Quit It. Now, y'all, it's been a lot going on this week. And I'm going to try to go through this as fast as possible, but it was a lot. So, here we go. YNW Melly shares updates of his condition behind bars and claims he fears for his life. He said a new captain named Hubert and Exo Jenkins have taken over the jail for 2 to 3 weeks now and have handed out even harsher punishments for me than the previous ones. Since December 11th, I have been moved and housed in a unit that holds 24 inmates at once. That's a lot. All right. I have now been housed in a vacant unit with no phone privilege, television or newspaper access. I am under 24-hour watch to make sure I don't have any outside contact with the free world, to let them know what's really going on with me. I am in full isolation and not allowed amongst the other inmates when I am allowed outside of my cell for 1 hour a day. I've been harassed, threatened physically, mistreated, discriminated against, subjected to cruel and unusual punishment, all done by high ranking deputies, lieutenants, and sergeants of Broward County. They say they hide me from the world. This letter continues into detail, which could be found at the Shade Room. So here's my thought about this. So I get it. Sometimes they get a little bit crazy. The higher ranking officials, they get a little bit crazy when it comes to handing out punishments and everything to the inmates. But we have to also realize you are an inmate. So I'm kind of like, I feel his pain, but at the same time, like, what's that saying? Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Like, at the end of the day, you broke the law. So you're going to have to do your time. Should they be as harsh as they are? I don't know, man. When we get to the point where we're like, I mean, sometimes we fight for inmates' rights more than Black people's human rights. So I don't know how to feel about that. So I'm gonna just keep on going. So bear with me here. There have been so many updates with this Meg versus Tory versus Kelsey versus this versus that, blah, 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 blah. It's hard to keep up, but so far we have learned that the gun has 4 different sets of fingerprints. The DNA has not been confirmed to belong to any of the suspects in question as of yet. Meg was possibly shot in the foot, but nobody is saying by who. The whole case went from Law and Order to Jerry Springer real quick. As of now, we don't know who officially shot who, but we know it all began with over the 2 arguing. Kelsey and Megan arguing in Tory's SUV, along with his security guard present, over the status of the other person's career, or is that what they want us to believe? Meg's former bodyguard, Justin Edison, has also gone missing, according to LAPD, before he is scheduled to testify in court. Make sure you tune in next week, where we'll have more official in-depth info on the case. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know, because I'm personally, I'm just going to shout out Shiva Lafar, because he's been following the case. I have not personally been following the case. You want to know why? Because I don't care. I mean, they updating us like this is the OJ trial. It's not. Nobody was killed. Okay, nobody was murdered. Now the bodyguard turning up missing, that's a little sus, but I don't care. Am I the only one? That may not be popular opinion, but hey, it's my show. I'm gonna say what I want to say. Yeah, I thank you so much, Treva, for putting that information out there, and I'm going to give y'all the facts and give y'all what I can about the case if it's written in the script. But to be perfectly honest, I don't really care about Meg Thee Stallion, Tory Lanez, or Kelsey Grammer. I know that's not her name, but that's the only real Kelsey I really know. So I couldn't care less, okay, about this case. All right. Meg is doing well. Her foot is apparently better. So I don't know why this is being dragged out so much. Moving on. Sources reveal Young Thug was hit with new charges that include street racing, reckless driving, and more. Meek Mill shares a quick story about Young Thug. It was a kid that was keeping his lights on at a detention center and kept getting into trouble. We found out that he was being, he was being taken advantage of sexually assaulted. Can I use that? By his uncle at night, so he wanted to keep the lights on. And he called Thug and stayed on the phone with him till the sun up on FaceTime. Wow, that took a turn. Gunna is set to be released from jail after pleading guilty to racketeering charges. He broke his silence on social media by saying, "While I have agreed to always be truthful, I want to make it clear I have not made any statements, have not been interviewed, have not cooperated, have not agreed to testify against any party in the case, and absolutely no intention of being involved in the trial process in any way." So he like, I ain't trying to be in all that. He was sentenced to 5 years in prison, with one already served in prison. The 1 year sentence was commuted to time served. The 4 year remaining balance on his sentence has been suspended and will be subjected to special conditions, including 500 hours of community service. You know what? I realized I read more about artists today getting in trouble and being in the news for stupid shit than new music releases. Is it just me? I realize that I'm always talking about somebody being locked up or getting charges, or like I don't know, y'all. I don't remember Busta Rhymes being in the news this much about, getting charges or LL Cool J or anything. Like, I remember them just putting out great music. And these are the legends of tomorrow. Somebody look up to them. I hope they look up to them for being creative or, the musical ability, and not looking up to them to do jail time. All right. 600 Breezy speaks on Gunna's snitching allegations, saying this is a state RICO case, not federal. Those are two different ball games. Stop throwing that snitch word around if you never even caught a misdemeanor. All right. YSL Duke and fellow YSL artist Slime Life Shorty have also taken plea deals in the case. Here we go again. Y'all, I'm gonna be honest with you. I am so tired of artists. I'm gonna have to do this. Being in the news for anything other than putting out great music. I don't know how many times I gotta say this. I'm tired of always reporting on them being locked up. They be in jail more than they be out of jail. Some of them I feel probably got boyfriends in there. That's why they keep going in and out. We gotta stop encouraging the foolishness. We have to encourage them to put out music. All right? Stop giving them big ups if they done time. They don't get no street credit. No. There's people that got street credit, but they actually put out great music. A lot of these people talk about some Tupac, Biggie, they put out great music. That's the main component that y'all missing. That's the main component y'all missing. Because y'all may be putting out some great music. I don't know. Am I wrong? I don't know. I know I'm not wrong. I mean, am I wrong to think that these people, that the only thing they got going for them is catching charges, catching the case, catching the damn code? How about you catch a hit record? How about you do that? Moving on. Young Miami, P. Diddy had a baby with somebody else, 28-year-old Dana Tran. She was like a computer analyst or something like that. And she had a baby by P. Diddy. I think P. Diddy trying to catch up to Nick Cannon at this point. They like having a little race, but Young Miami says she's not a side joint, but P. Diddy sure enough treating her like one. Or maybe she just don't want to have no babies by him. which is perfectly her choice, her body, whatever she wants to do. So what's happening is that he's just going out getting other people knocked up, and he's just having a whole bunch of fun with her. I'm like, live your best life. If you got the money to do it, do it. I'm not here to judge nobody when it comes to how they live their lives as far as making babies and going out and having fun with someone they genuinely enjoy their company with. Do you, boo boo? Why is P Diddy's personal life out on display? I have no idea. Why is this news? I have no idea. But yeah, we gonna keep it going. So this is something that I really want to share. Kalani shares that she was sexually assaulted by a person who attended her concert. She posted in her IG story that she had made a video after it happened of her that showed her crying out of anger, but she decided not to post it. She stated, "I don't care how sexual you deem my music, my performance, my fun with my friends dancing in clubs, or me. Doesn't give you the right to cross the boundary line by sticking your hands up my skirt, pulling my underwear to touch my genitals as I'm being escorted through a crowd after performing." She said that shit makes me sick to my stomach. As a victim of sexual assault, I am endlessly triggered and mind blown. So that's something that I feel I should have shared. You know, that's something that's very serious. A lot of people get carried away. These fans getting carried away now just because somebody is talking about stuff. And then people like, well, if you wasn't talking about all that stuff in your music, then nobody would sexually assault you. First of all, sexual assault is a crime. Making music is not. All right? Expressing yourself creatively through your music is not a crime. What is a crime is being sexually assaulted. So what I need people to do is stop blaming the victim and place the blame where it belongs. We already did plenty of shows about sexual assault. I did a three-part series on sexual assault. And it makes no sense that well actually was sexual harassment, but it takes the same precedence because people think, oh, because she's dressed this way, because she presents herself this way, it's allowed. She's fair game. No, she's not. So leave Kalani alone and leave all the other female artists alone and leave the men alone, you know, that are out there doing their thing too. You know, sexual assault on any level against anyone is not acceptable. Moving on. Gorilla tweets that she likes her man to put protein on her food before she eats it, but quickly follows up saying, "Dang, y'all, it was a joke." She didn't just tweet that. She was actually on a show, on a podcast, where she said the exact same thing. So I listen, do you, boo boo, whatever you want to do. That's how you want to. If that's what you want to be part of your diet, so be it, honey. Like you ain't get no judgment from me. You like the that's you. All right. You like the go ahead, do you, boo. I ain't mad at you. All right. I'm not mad at you. I just feel like too many people are sharing personal details. TMI. Like nobody need to know about all that. Nobody don't know all that. But y'all just keep sharing this stuff over and over again. Now, Glorilla, you was doing great. You still doing great. You was putting it out there about your music and everything, and your music is great, and you doing tours and everything. Just keep all your personal business to yourself. Have we not learned? Everybody don't need to know everything. Everybody don't need to know everything about your daggone life. That's why y'all in so much trouble now, because y'all keep telling all y'all business. Keep y'all business to yourselves. Okay? Keep your business to yourself. I don't need to know about what you do in your bedroom. Shoot. And then y'all be wondering why people be looking at y'all all funny and stuff at these awards, because y'all be talking about some crazy stuff. Anyway, moving on. DJ Wackademics. That's what I'm going to call him. DJ Wackademics admits he was wrong after calling uh, Young Miami Diddy side chick. Then went back on his live stream after a few days of going back and forth with her on social media. However, this time he said she is a queen. I love her. Could Brother Love send AK a little message in a bottle to calm down? DJ Academics has a history of arguing and going crazy on women, but when it's a rapper pressing him, we've seen him hint or threaten to call the authorities many times to avoid problems with the men. Cornball. Next one. Cardi B shared a quick snippet of some of her new music after someone reportedly leaked fake reference tracks and claimed them to be hers. Cardi agreed with a fan who called out the leaks for being fake and they sound horrible, and that Cardi ain't about to rap about pushing no weight. Then Cardi found the tweet and retweeted it with a response saying, "These are horrible too. I would never." Ayanna Yaya Mayweather, NBA YoungBoy's big mom, was sentenced to 6 years probation after pleading guilty to aggravated assault with a deadly weapon by way of stabbing a woman in 2020 several times in the arm during a fight. She has to abide by the following rules of her probation. She cannot commit any crime or offense. Cannot use or possess any illegal drug or prescription drugs that are not currently prescribed by a medical professional. Report to a supervising officer. Work a suitable employment or that girl ain't got to work or attend school full time. She ain't got to go to school either. I guess because it's under the order, but and remain within Harris County and cannot travel outside the location unless given permission. See, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Moving on. Deb Atney had a lot to say in her recent interview on podcast My Expert Opinion. This is Waka Flocka's mom. She claims that Gucci Mane didn't like Nicki Minaj at one point because he couldn't mess with her, he couldn't have sex with her, and even calls Gucci selfish. But with what we know about the business and the media reports that she's allegedly done with her son and other 1017 Brick Squad members in the late 2000s, bad business. Let's just say a lot of people left the table unhappy and unpaid. Ivory Duke Williams was taken into custody last Wednesday for the death of CMG signed Memphis rapper Snooty Wild. Nearly a year after his death, his son was able to help catch his father's killer by alerting the Houston police of his father's alleged killer, admitting to shooting his father on a social media post. He shouldn't have never did it, and then he should never did the crime, and then he's stupid as to sit up there and confess to it on social media. Congrats to Lil Wayne as his 2008 hit song Lollipop, like a lollipop, becomes a diamond record. 14 members of Sauce Walker's TSF crew in Houston were arrested on federal RICO charges. More than 200 FBI personnel came together to investigate the case. Wow, that's a lot of people get together to whatever. Bow Wow responds to Jermaine Dupri after he claims in a recent interview that he created 106 & Park for Bow Wow to excel his career. He kept it short and simple, saying "Stop the cat," as he listed the creators of 106 & Park, who were the bigwigs of the BET network at the time of the show's development. Top charting producer Hitmaker tweets, "I can't wait to work with a pretty female rapper that's strictly about bars to even the playing field. Pussy Rap was cool, but when it had shock value, it was rare. Now it's like every girl is taking it there. It's some who aren't, but they need a hit producer to make an impact." Meek Mill deactivates his Twitter forever and takes over his YouTube so he can interact with his fans more, citing too many bots and weird people. December 14th, ABC Network presented The Beauty and the Beast, a 30th celebration, part live action, part animation, and 100% Disney magic, starring her, Josh Groban, Shania Twain, David Alan Grier, Martin Short, and more. 13 musical numbers. In case you missed it, it is streaming on Disney Plus and Hulu. And apparently Life Jennings must not be nice. Must not be nice. After recent videos of him, why did it autocorrect me and then it was wrong? Don't autocorrect me. After recent videos of him in concert surfaced, LZ816 tweeted, I went to see Life Jennings last night. And when I tell you never the again, I want my mother money back. Because he was screaming at people, y'all. Celebrity news. Celebrity jeweler Alex Moss tells TMZ Champagne Poppy's new piece is called Previous Engagements. A tribute to all the women Drake contemplated asking to marry him, but never went through. Necklace with 42 engagement ring diamonds. That's a lot of ice, people. One diamond for every thought of proposal. Every thought of proposal. Breonna Taylor's boyfriend, who fired one shot at cops as they burst through the door on the night they shot her dead, settles a $2 million lawsuit with the city of Louisville. Wonder if any of that money is going to go to Breonna Taylor's family. But that's another situation. Terrence Howard says he's given his very best as an actor and shares final decision to retire while on the carpet for The Best Man, returning for his final installment on December 22, 2022. December 22nd, 2022. Terrence revealed his final run and made it clear on Entertainment Tonight with Kevin Frazier saying, I retired 2 years ago for the most part. So he did slow down a lot with acting, pretty much after Empire. Romeo calls out his dad after Master P responds to his post about family trauma, saying, you're not the man who you paint yourself to be, saying his dad avoids contact with him or any of his kids. Romeo feels like this is the only way he can reach out to his father. All this came from the family grieving over the loss of a family member and not handling it well publicly. Master P says mental illness is real and social media is not a place of healing. Son, you have to stop trying to get people to feel sorry for you. No family is perfect. We can all heal together. Romeo says he never touched his own money because it all went to pay his father's taxes. All my siblings are broke. We never had money for college, and we're living check to check. You see how that happened? That was crazy. Because, I mean, Master P had it set up for him. His grandfather left him, I think, $10,000, and he was able to build his multi-million-dollar company. And then he turns around and shirks his children's pockets. But then again, Romeo has been an adult for some years now. So as soon as he found that out, he should have been on top of it. And I mean, like, these kids, I swear, like, some of these kids, when they're given stuff so much and their parents just kind of give them stuff, they don't teach them the game, then they fall into this trap. But then they try to blame their parents. But at one point, you got to be like, my money, the math ain't mathing with my money. Like, where my money at? You know, and this is not being done. And y'all need to ask questions, even if it is your parent. You know, if your parent is managing your money and you want to see something, it's nothing wrong with getting a separate financial advisor away from your parent. But what's happening is that they probably feel like they're betraying their father. Or father, like, you don't think I would do that to you? I'm your father, and blah 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 blah. But look what happened. So there you go. Sports news. After weeks and opinions of Deion Sanders leaving JSU, he set things straight in his most recent press conference, clearly saying there are different levels and I must move on and take this opportunity to advance my coaching career. I have helped build this program, bringing in top recruits and leaving behind an amazing staff to cover in my absence. And JSU student defaces Deion Sanders' mural even after everything he did for the college. So here you got a man who wants to further his career, but people feel some type of way about that. Y'all just wanted him to stay there forever and ever and ever. And y'all don't, we don't know like what his paycheck was looking like. He probably got offered a better position somewhere else, and he did what he could do for y'all school, and he's moving on to help another school. Why do y'all feel so jilted by it? And the person that defaced the mural, if we could really call it that, he probably ain't never been to a game, ain't never did nothing. He just did it for shock value. Robert Griffin III apologizes after mistakenly using the term jigaboo on air on last week's Monday Night Football countdown show. Talk about so he meant to say bugaboo. Dude, you know what you was saying, like. I know Terry Crews was somewhere like, he took my word. Former NBA All-Star and legend Stoudemire was arrested on domestic violence charges after allegedly punching one of his daughters, his 14-year-old daughter, in the face. Police report says she came home at 8 p.m. and after giving her grandmother nothing but attitude, Stoudemire rushed in and responded with, "You're talking back again," and struck her in the jaw. Wow, that's crazy. In other news, Winter Horrorland gone wrong. A slingshot ride snapped and crashed into a beam. That's why I don't ride no rides. Ouch. I cherish my life. I'm not playing with no rides, no slingshot ride. It happened in Hyde Park, London. But I'm surprised people still getting on these amusement park rides after seeing all this craziness that's going on with it. Pastor Miles Ruther responds to Jamal Bryant about his recent statements of his church growing medicinal weed to fund his church, and he makes some very strong statements about his character as a pastor, even saying that Jamal's church is not a kingdom of God, but more of some money-making machine. He even brings up a Black woman to deliver testimony of her family member who died due to use, but she never stated what she used. He really used the info to his advantage to promote people to join his church. I don't know how to feel about this one. He was too hyped and ready to discredit Pastor Jamal in order to hype up his church. And that's what's been happening, y'all. We're going to get into that a little bit later. In fact, adult bullies in the church. Telling you. Karen tries to police family over visitors coming for a niece's death. A family lost a woman lost her niece. She had family members coming over to her house, but Karen was asking her, well, how long these people gonna be at your house and how they, and asking all these questions. Bitch, like, go somewhere with yourself. You don't have no right to what's going on over here. So just stop it. But she was trying to police them, and I just feel some type of way about that. A hippo in Uganda swallowed half of a 2-year-old's body and spit him out alive. Apparently this happened. This ain't no fake news. It was on CNN, y'all. So, whew. Craziness. Milwaukee man's 46-year-old Larry McAdoo was arrested after officials seized over 1,000 animals from his home. Oh, was it 1,000 animals? I thought it was like 100. Over 100 animals. It wasn't 1,000. It's only 100. These are exaggerations. He was charged with 2 counts of mistreatment of animals and 10 counts of negligence, not providing proper animal shelter sanitation standards. He was later released on $3,000 bond. The cops were called because of the strong odor of feces and urine. When the cops arrived, he blamed it on his 3 teenagers aged 16, 17, and 18. A woman tries running off after getting her phone screen repaired and gets locked inside. That was hilarious. She ran right into the door. Then she tried to call her mom and she started saying, "Mom, they tripping. They got me locked in the store. This, that, the third." Mom shows up. The store owner told her what happened, and she started yelling at the girl because the girl tried to attack the store owner in front of her mom. Like her mom was just gonna be down with it. Like, yeah, baby, get him. And I mean, it's some parents out there like that believe their kids can't do no wrong. But guess what? This mom was like, what she do? Oh, okay. I believe she did it. I believe she did it. It cussed her out right there. Los Angeles area Black man disguised himself as a white guy to commit over 30 home burglaries. I mean, if they do it, listen. Baptist brawl at installation of new pastor. Members of U-Haul Baptist Church did not want Elder F. Keith Horn to be elected pastor, so they stayed home. One family in support of Elder voted him in, and shall we say, someone was not having it. And her name is Mean Charlene, okay? She was like, I am not having it, okay? Mindful of kidnapper with a gun in Kroger parking lot located in Marietta, Georgia. The perp Randy Harmon attempted to abduct the woman at 9 a.m. So they getting bold, y'all. They doing it in the daytime. They doing it in the daytime. She fought and escaped. The perp was caught, thank God. The pastor addresses feminine men in the church. A 17-year-old is tried for murder as an adult after girl 16 he gave ecstasy laced with Fetty Wap is found dead. 52-year-old Florida man Richard Atchison was arrested on multiple charges, including domestic battery. According to reports, him and his significant other, his wife, had gotten into an argument when she asked him to help with dinner. At some point, the wife added a spoon to the dishwasher, splashing her husband accidentally. He then lost his temper, began packing his things into his car, and left. He returned home because he had been drinking and told his wife to leave. Officers say he shoved her and picked up the Christmas tree in the corner of the room and threw it, striking her. People getting crazy. Political. A Texas lawmaker proposes a bill that will ban anyone under the age of 18 from opening a social media account. American lawmakers, including Republican Senator of Florida Marco Rubio, announced bipartisan legislation on Tuesday that will ban China's social media app TikTok in the U.S. They have followed up by saying they fear the app is really using app permissions of cameras to spy on Americans. They want to ban the use of any media company under the influence of Russia or China. And remember 17-year-old Jordan Davis? He was murdered in 2012 by a man upset with him for playing loud music at a Florida gas station. Well, his mom, Lucy McBath, was just elected to Congress. Rest in peace to Twitch. He was on So You Think You Could Dance. Yeah, So You Think You Could Dance. He also was on the Ellen Show. And when Ellen retired or got fired, or whatever they want to call it, he became the executive producer. I just remember him being he's very handsome and very positive. And unfortunately, what they said that he unalived himself. There's a lot of people saying that's not the case, but listen, only God knows. And he's in God's hands. So there you go. Tomorrow is my nephew TJ's 11th birthday. Please, y'all, comment happy birthday in the comments. You know, show my nephew some love. He is a true Capricorn, okay? Capricorn, Sag Capricorn. Is that what we on? Like the cusp? Like he on the cusp. But still, he's about making money. And I know a lot of Capricorns that like making money. So he is definitely on the cusp, and he's just that way. And he's so adorable. Love him. New music releases. 21 Savage and Metro Booming's newest artist, Big Brat, drops new single and music video, Hope. Legends of the Streets tour kicks off February 2023 with Jeezy, Rick Ross, T.I., Gucci Mane, 2 Chainz, Ja Rule, Jadakiss, Cameron, Trina, with special guest P. Valley's own Juicy Fruit. Stops include NOLA, Houston, Dallas, Greensboro, and Cincinnati. I know Trevo is in the comments. You gonna make that Greensboro show? I know you probably are. Should they make a stop somewhere else? Comment below if you would like to see this lineup in your town. Ja Rule. I'm surprised about that. www.raphooks.com. Raphooks, a platform created by Uncle Marvin Music on IG, is where you can take courses on creating hits, branding, streaming, social media marketing, music marketing, learning how to monetize your platforms, landing placements in major collaborating with any artist, producer, or engineer 24/7 worldwide, and showcasing your talents to the world. Follow him and tell him Chivala Fire sent you and get started today on taking your music career to the next level. Rap Hooks works with us, not for us. Rap Hooks works with us, not for us. And that has been our Hit It and Quit It. Listen, y'all, we're going to jump right into this hot topic. But before we do, I got to shout out my sponsor. My sponsor is Euphoria Water. Euphoria Water is the cleanest, healthiest water in Philly. Alkaline water with minerals. There you go. Bada bang, bada boom. Hit them up on IG, Euphoria Water. If you live in Philly, call them at 267-707-8279 to get that Euphoria Water. All right, y'all. So we're going to jump into our hot topic, which I just played the... No, I didn't play it yet. Yo, wait a minute. Let's go back. All right. We're going to jump into our hot topic. I'm telling you.
I'm coming in hot.
So again, y'all, we are closing out season 1 with our 5-part series on bullying. Think Different TV is doing a 5-part series on adult bullying. Okay, so this is part 4, bullies in the church, but just to round it up, guys, we have part 1, which is adult bullying in the workplace, part 2, which is adult bullying among friends, and part 3 was last week, adult bullying in the family, and today we have adult bullies in the church. All right, you see how all the hands are pointed to her like, you're wrong, you're doing bad. And I had a picture of a man being pointed to as well, but then I couldn't find it. So there you go. So here we go, y'all. We're gonna go back into defining what a bully is. A bully is a person who habitually seeks to harm or intimidate those whom they perceive as vulnerable. Why do they bully? They bully because they want to gain control. They also use it as a coping strategy. They want continuation of the role, or they have dementia. Now, I just went to church yesterday. It was amazing. Okay. Do we have any adult bullies in the church? I don't know. I'm not bullied in the church. I don't notice it. I don't notice anybody else being bullied. It's a pretty positive environment. I love going to the church that I go to. I feel as if I used to be very apprehensive before I went to church, and there's a reason why. My church experience prior to going to this church has been very stressful, and I don't know if it's because of my own, like how I grew up in the church, like how my grandma, I went to Baptist church, and everything was just so, and you had to wear your hair a certain way, you had to be a certain way, and it was just very stressful. When you're a kid in that environment, it's like, dang, like. And then when you grow up and you hear all the gossiping and all this different stuff going on around you, it's like, dang, like, are these Christians or are they church folk? Yeah, there's a difference. All right. You got the church folk that you sin and all. Well, everybody sins. All right. But church folk, they don't atone for their sins. Truly, okay? They don't really take into account their words and what they say. And just think like Greenleaf. Y'all ever see the show Greenleaf? Like, I don't believe even the family was true Christians. Everybody has a human element to them, and I know this, and we all strive to be more Christ-like in our dealings with people and how we go throughout life and everything like that. And I get it. You have the religion, which is the set of rules. You have different things that, religious beliefs and all these different things that's running all together. And sometimes this is a very touchy subject to talk about, because the image of the church as a family is ancient, and the idea of a family as a domestic church has reemerged in recent times. Parishes are communities of families gathered under a pastor, a father of the family, in communion with the bishop to worship God and to build the kingdom. And Christians are family through Jesus. God established believers to be connected in a powerful way as a family. To say that we are a church family implies that the significant spiritual bond between believers and the way we walk with one another through life, encouraging, supporting, and loving each other. So this is how it's supposed to be. In a family, in a church family, among friends, you're always supposed to have this element of encouraging, supporting, and loving each other. But there's a lot of times when that does not happen in the church. Sad to say, there are people who, even with them being in the church, cannot stop their ways of being disrespectful, putting people down, making people feel less than, to make themselves feel better about themselves. They still try to do the same stuff, okay, that they do outside of church. They do it inside of the church. Y'all ever heard of the term church hurt? Well, it refers to the pain sometimes inflicted by religious institutions, a pain that distances sufferers from their communities and from God. It occurs when you've been a victim of a total abuse of power in the church. All right. And so I asked you guys, have you ever experienced church hurt? Or realized that you were part of a toxic church? Now, there's some people that do not attend church. And one of the reasons why they don't attend church, because they feel like it's a lot of gossiping going on. They never really felt welcomed at the church. Maybe because the way they wear their hair is not accepted in that church. There might be mothers who are unwed, who are being whispered and talked about behind their back when they come into the church. Even though people smile in your face and say, oh, girl, anytime you need help, anytime you need a babysitter, anytime you need help, you can call me. But then they be up there talking about I wonder who the daddy is. Why ain't daddy ain't never come up in this church? Oh, she probably, such and such don't look like such and such, and they both her kids, but they probably from two different daddies. It's still that type of gossiping that goes on in the church, y'all. It's crazy. It's really crazy. It's really crazy. And there are people who delight in causing trouble, running down the church and creating dissension in the church. And they're known as bullies. All right? They are comfortable only when they are fighting someone. They will either seek an official leadership position in the church or may be powerful without any official positions. And that is dangerous. That is dangerous. When you have that much power, let me think. In Greenleaf, there was this lady who served on the board. And she had some crazy power over the pastor and the first lady of the church. There was a lot that happened. If y'all never seen Greenleaf, please just watch the first episode. Just watch the first episode on Netflix, and y'all will understand what I'm talking about right now. If you have seen Greenleaf, then you know exactly what I'm talking about, and all the different. You be like, after a while, you start forgetting that they in church. You be like, I thought they was in church. They doing all this stuff. They carrying on like this. And listen, church bullies start off with a massive ego, an inferiority complex, and some intense jealousy. They seem to be doing their work more furiously today than in recent history and seem like they are determined to create havoc and chaos for certain individuals. And if you want to keep peace among your ministry, keep reading to learn how to deal with bullies. So keep on reading into this show, watching the show to know how to deal with church bullies, because they come in many shapes and sizes. They could be the members of the church. They could be the people who in the choir. They could be the people in the pulpit. They could be the ushers. How many of y'all went to a church where you had an usher that had an attitude? Always want to throw their weight around. I'm usher. I tell you where to sit. You know, abusing their power as an usher. How many of y'all had pastors talking crazy in the pulpit and people co-signing them, knowing daggone well they ain't saying nothing that is of God? How many of y'all have been in the choir and been around that person who always suck their teeth every time somebody gets a solo, or always trying to hum high, louder than the soloist because they had some discourse with the soloist? Listen, this happens in a lot of churches. And if this has happened in your church, then woo, baby. All right. So I'm going to throw this on real quick, and I'm going to jump to the comments. But I want y'all to understand that there's a lot of people out here that are sharing in what I just talked about. All right. Wait a minute. Let me see if I can find it real quick. It's this one video. I think I'm going to start with this one.
Let's talk about it, shall we? Oh, by now, I've been in church all my life. I was a pastor. You know what I saw constantly? And I did this too, so I'm not exempt. We would talk shit about each other in the church and turn right back around and worship God with the same people we just talked shit about. And of course, we justified our behavior. But my question is, if God, or at least the biblical God, is as powerful as we say God is, why couldn't that power cause us to walk in love and stop harming each other and talking shit about each other? I don't know. Just thinking out loud. And I already know some of y'all are going to choose to gaslight and insult me rather than address the topic at hand. But for the rest of y'all, let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it, okay? Let's talk about that toxic church culture. The people that just keep talking about people behind their backs and all this different stuff. Now, I do call this adult bullying because it comes from all different sides. Adult bullies in the church. These adult bullies can bully children, teenagers, and other adults. How do they bully children? Always, I don't know, saying this generation ain't this, that, and the third, talking crap about the generation that's coming up, you know, making fun of kids. Like, perfect example. Y'all know that kid that always, when I was in Canaan Baptist, we had children's choir. Love being on children's choir. All right. Now, this was run by Miss Jenkins. Shout out to Miss Jenkins. I hope she's doing well and everything like that. Haven't heard from her in a long time, but it was a time when, okay, I used to get a lot of the solos, and it's not like I was up there like, ooh, let me get that solo. Ooh, let me get that solo. It was just like, you have a really good voice. We're going to let you do the solo on this song. We're going to let you do the solo on this song. But then, you know, it was just like, okay, y'all got to give some solos to other kids. Like, I felt bad because some kids be like, I want to do the solo. And they be like, no. And one time they was like, no, we're going to let we're gonna give it to this other little girl, whatever. So one song, it was like they split it up. Like I had a solo, this other girl had a solo, this little boy had a solo. We split it all up, and we're singing in the church. We had this big Christmas play, and everybody went down and did their parts and everything like that. But I heard, and I remember this. I remember this very distinctly. You know, you know how they always say to when they say take your time, that means you messed up a little bit. All right. So this one lady, I could hear when I finished singing, and then the other little girl started singing or whatever. The other song, the lady said, "Well, Dad, they should have just gave that girl all the solos." And it's like, these are little kids. We were little kids, y'all. Little kids. So let me jump to the comments. What's up? What's up? What's up, y'all? Oh man, let me go back. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. Shout out to Tribula Fire, my brother. You know, always jumping on here, showing me love. Let me see. Try is on here. He says, salute Lashia, salute Trevo. I hope everything is well with Try. He probably gearing up for this Jeopardy later on in the show. We have in the building. It was a lot. We got Reg in the building. Yo, what's up, Reg? What's up? And he said, why do black dad and their kids argue on social media? Yeah, about Romeo and Master P. Really stupid, right? Why would y'all even do that? All right, that was relating to Hidden and Quidditch earlier. And oh, Samuel, what's up? Thank you for joining into the convo. He said he stopped going to the church. And is it because of what I'm talking about, the adult bullies in church, or it's just like not a thing for you? Like some people just don't like going to church because they're like, I can do my spiritual healing at home with my Bible. I can read my Bible and everything like that. Or maybe you just aren't a person that read the Bible, which is fine. That is your choice and your decision. Like, I'm not here to bash anybody. My thing is, I want to just bring awareness to this issue. It doesn't happen in every church, but when it does happen, it's just like you're going against what the Bible is teaching. Like, how could you say you know God and know that God was not a judging God? Well, I don't know. It's a lot of different things. You really got to be in the Bible, read the Bible and everything like that. But how could you say you are a Christian if you don't live your life like a Christian? You're doing everything against what? Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. Shibla Fire says, way back when I was a kid, the pastor used to go crazy. And he said he hasn't been back since he was 13 years old. What's up, Ronnie? Thank you for joining in to Think Different TV. What's up? Relating back to Master P and Romeo, yeah, at one time Brian McKnight and his kids was going back and forth on social media too, and that was disgusting. Samuel said because they were closed-minded and very homophobic. There you go. And he didn't feel safe in a church. And that's the crazy thing, y'all. That's the crazy thing about it, is that when you go to church, you want to feel safe, right? You want to feel like you are in a place, a safe space. And when you go to a place where you are ridiculed for how your hair is, how you talk, how you walk, how you dress, how you eat, how you sleep, how you preach, how you, like, it's hard to be in a space like that. And I can understand why a lot of people do not go to church. I understand it perfectly. But it's not just, Baptist church. It happens in African churches too. Unfortunately, here's a story.
You know what? It's crazy, but I feel like this prompt was made for me. And I know it wasn't, but I say that because not too long ago, I actually was pulled into a meeting with my former church about why I left the former church and what can be done to help improve the youth and fix the problem of people leaving the church, right? Like literally this exact same topic. And I tried to keep it vague, tried to be respectful, but I'm sure as Africans that are watching this, you already know when the adults say that they want to listen, they're not really listening. But the truth is, first of all, there is a lack of solid and sound doctrine being preached in a lot of these churches. Why am I sitting in church for 3, 4, 5 hours and y'all are talking about fighting warlocks and demons or green cards and immigration or obey your parents all dang day long? Like, no, that's not the gospel, first of all. Secondly, there's so much judgment and unwarranted opinions thrown, especially towards the youth. And it makes you not even want to be in the room. It makes you not even want to come to church because you're uncomfortable. You have aunties looking at you sideways because you're wearing lots of makeup or lashes. I had one auntie who literally used to love me since childhood stop talking to me or even look me in my face because I wear anklets now. And in my own experience of growing in specific churches, I've seen so much hypocrisy, like beyond, I can't even get into it. It actually irritates me so much. Hypocrisy that would actually make you question the church and think to yourself, like, wait a minute, are we actually serving the Lord here? Like, what is going on? This doesn't make sense. Overall, I feel like the decline in youth really has to do with these churches being tailored towards the traditional African adult mindset and not really the youth or helping the youth grow. And you know what? I have actually yet to come across a church with these issues that listens to their youth when they express these problems. It seems to me like maybe that's the reason why they still have those problems.
She touched on a lot of stuff in there. You see how she said, you have aunties looking at you sideways because of what they want you to be in the church, and you're not being that. And so, let me tell y'all how to identify church bullies. All right, listen to other churchgoers. This one is important. While many churchgoers may do their best to ignore the church bullies and stay in their lane, this won't be true for all of them. Sometimes word gets around that someone isn't on their best behavior. Try to listen in on church gossip to ensure that nothing problematic is going on. Now, am I saying for you to be the one to call them out or say anything to them? No, this should be somebody that's in power that can say something to them. But what happens when it's not just a regular church member? What if it is the person in the pulpit? We'll get to that a little bit later. Pay attention during service and events. Ensure that you're keeping an eye on a congregation during church service and various church events. A bully may make him or herself evident if you know how to spot them. Look for people whom everyone else is avoiding. It's uncommon for someone to be entirely by themselves during service and events, at least all the time. This doesn't necessarily mean that this person is a bully, but something to consider. All right. Look for self-defined leaders. Let me take a sip of my Euphoria water on that one. Look for self-defined leaders. There's always somebody that say, I'm the leader of this, I'm the leader of that. Who said? Who said? Who said you was the leader? Who said you was the leader? Just because you say you the leader don't mean you the leader. And until I have proof that you are the leader of what you say you the leader of, I'm not taking that as gospel. All right. Then evaluate their response to constructive criticism. All right. Evaluate their response to constructive criticism. Listen, if that person is told on several occasions, here's the biggest thing. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. If you're told that on multiple occasions in the church, you're going to have to work on your tone. Or just don't be in a position where you have to delegate any responsibilities or anything to anyone. Because I'm telling you right now, church folk, they some sensitive people. They super sensitive. Everything is on a higher level because you're in the place of the Lord. You're supposed to be following the gospel, all this different stuff. So people are holding you to a higher standard in the church. So definitely. Let me show y'all some examples of how people can bully people in the church. This is going to be very interesting.
Okay, so start from the very beginning and tell me what's been going on with you. You know, this is supposed to be a positive environment here in this youth group, and we just don't want to bring any negative experiences in here. We want to bring God our best. And, you know, all the new people that are coming to church, we don't want them to see that we have struggles that we deal with. We want them to see that everything is happy and encouraging and exciting, so that way they want to be Christians. So what is going on with the whole, I'm depressed, I'm like, what's going on with you right now? Today's the anniversary of your dad's death? Wow, sorry about that. But, you know, I really think it's selfish of you that while, you know, we're playing games in youth and everybody's getting excited because we're kicking off the new camp for this week for youth groups, I really think it's selfish of you that you're focusing all on yourself and you're sitting in the back crying. You know, I know what you're doing, okay? I know that you're trying to get attention. I know that you're not one of the most popular kids here, and you just want to bring all the attention onto yourself, okay? But that's not what youth group is about, okay? So I'm gonna have to ask you, first of all, to stop crying. Just dry it up. There's a tissue over there. Go get it. But I'm gonna have to ask you to dry it up, and if you can't, I'm gonna need you to go home. Yes, we would much rather just have you leave and have the energy in here stay the same and the excitement and the happiness, and just have you not be here rather than, you know, you be here and all of us have to deal with your problems. You know, it's very selfish, and nobody came here tonight with the intention of, oh, like, let's fix your problems, like, this is all about her. Like, you know, this isn't all about you, okay? So out of the kindness of my heart, I'm gonna have to ask you to just leave and don't come back until you've decided not to be selfish anymore.
Well, that took a turn, right? So here you have a person who is going to a youth group, and she or he is feeling like they're dealing with something very traumatic. And then you have because this is supposed to be the pastor's wife, but she's not the pastor's wife. She's just saying that. So I'm thinking that maybe she went through an experience like this, where the pastor's wife is counseling her to not be as emotional because it's selfish of this person to do that. And that is a form of bullying, not validating someone's feelings, making them feel less than because they feel some type of way when they come into the church. But what people don't realize is that church is supposed to be for people who are sick spiritually, that need some spiritual healing, right? And you know, it's kind of like a double-edged sword, because on one hand you got people that say they're depressed, and people are like, well, don't, just pray it away, but then you go to the church, and because they don't want them to resort to medications and everything like that. Oh, you're not. First they say you're not depressed. That's something made up in your mind. Then when they accept that you're depressed, they say, well, just pray it away because they don't want you to take medications. And then you go to church and then they're telling you you're not depressed and to get over yourself. Or if you are depressed, you can't say anything about it because you're somehow being selfish in sharing your emotions or being emotional at the church. And that's crazy to me. That's crazy to me. I also have another example. Now, here's a crazy example, right? Now, this is actually like a Stitch video that I found on TikTok, but just to give you a little bit of a backstory, it was someone on stage preaching, and someone was, I guess they were getting the Holy Ghost in the audience, and the person said, "You're not going to be louder than me." Y'all see it in the video. I'll just give you a little bit of background, but this was crazy.
Can't overtalk me. That's right, I'm the prophet right now. That's how we do everything that we want. Because you don't know who's the prophet right now. Don't do that. Don't do it. Wrong night. Wrong girl.
It's not about you. If it took the rest of the service for that girl to have a moment with the Holy Spirit, the reason she is there, then you let her do it. This is not about you and uplifting you. This is about you uplifting the Lord and you being a vessel to do that. So humble yourself, get your ego off that pulpit, and take a minute and figure out who you really are and what you're there for.
And isn't that crazy? She was up there giving a sermon and someone was catching the Holy Ghost or whatever, and she told the person, "You're not going to be louder than me. I'm the prophet right now." And this and third, and people was co-signing. People was co-signing her. And that's another thing. You can't be a sheep. You can't follow these people blindly. A lot of people are looking because the person is supposed to be a vessel used by God to deliver the word. People start looking at that person as if they are actually God themselves. And a lot of these pastors have God complexes, which makes them think that they can impose rules and regulations that is not of God to regulate their church the way they want to regulate their church, but is not Christian. Is how they want it ran, how they want it run so they can feel comfortable in their space, but is making other people uncomfortable in doing so. So here's another one. Let me find the other one. Here we go. This one was
You're a pretty woman, but eat what you're supposed to eat, and don't eat 5 of them. I don't. All right. You know what the Lord gave me to say.
She said it's okay to eat what you want to eat, just don't eat 5 of them. Did she really come at this lady's neck in front of all these people? Like, so you got the mic, so you think you could just talk to me only a type of way? And I think the lady was caught off guard. She just didn't know what to say after that. She was just like, she was freaking lost. This is what I'm talking about. This is what the bullies look like. But people are sitting in the audience laughing, not really calling the person out. And this is a real problem. This is a big problem in the church. If you see somebody act like this, I don't care if they the pastor. Call them out. Call them out, because this is the reason why so many people don't want to go to church. Why they don't feel safe. Like Samuel said, they don't feel safe in the church because of stuff like this. Let me go to the comments real quick. Here we go. So, wow. He said, So he said that a homophobe who is a Christian yelled that he was going to hell because he was gay. And these are people in the church. And nobody's calling them on it. He said, Samuel also said people should be able to express their emotions, which is very true. Everyone should be able to express their emotions when it comes to, when they're out and about, when they're at church, especially when you're at church. Isn't this a place where you're supposed to do spiritual healing? How can they know what to heal if you can't express what it is that need healing? Just simply telling somebody they're not depressed does not help the depression. Just telling somebody that they're not gay that's not going to stop them from being gay. I don't understand where the logic comes in. So it's just really crazy. So let me show y'all another example of this. Show y'all another example of this. Which one can I use? This was actually a guy who was really excited to speak in front of the congregation, but was told that he couldn't because of something very disturbing.
Name one thing about church culture that you wish would change. I'll go first. So this is a funny one, but not really. When I was in college, I was an intern at a local church. And one morning I showed up, I was scheduled to be on the platform to do the scripture reading or prayer or something like that. And I saw the group of people getting ready to go up front. And so I went over to them. I approached the elder and he looked at me. He looked down at my neck area and he said, "Where's your tie?" And I said, I didn't wear one today. He said, "Okay, I'll go find someone else to replace you for today." And he walked away. And I just stood there like, what just happened? I guess I was disqualified from being up front that day. And I laugh now and I laughed then because it's ridiculous. But the sad truth is that it's not so funny. In church culture, we spend a lot of energy deciding who is in and who's out, who gets to be up front, who's ordained, who's qualified. The vigilance of the us versus them barriers is something that I think is really antithetical to the way of Christ. This is something about church culture that I really wish would change.
So guys, what is it about toxic church culture that you wish to change? What is it, something that you want to change? Y'all can leave it in the comments below. Just crazy. And real quick, y'all, share the live. Share the love by sharing the live. When you share the live, make sure you hashtag TDTV. Make sure people are getting on and knowing about this topic. I just thought it was crazy how he was disqualified from doing what they asked him to do simply because he didn't have a tie on. And never mind that he prepared himself to do this, and then you say, "Oh, I'll just get somebody else." Not, "Let me go get you a tie because it's more presentable," or nothing like that. I'm just gonna find somebody else. Craziness, straight craziness. All right, so it was a young lady that was talking about toxic church culture as well.
So let's talk about the elephant in the room, this spirit called bullying in the church. Ministry leaders, Christians, we bully people. You were a bully in grade school, grammar school, high school, college. You bully people now on your job. You figure, "Oh, I can outgrow bullying. There's no need for me to take bullying to the altar." But bullying is a spirit, a demonic spirit. Anytime you treat people in a different type of way because you don't get things your way, or because you want something that they don't want to give you, you want something that that does not belong to you, and you take it anyway, you're a bully. Ministry leaders, pastors, apostles, preachers and teachers, and people who lead the church, you're a bully when you feel like everything has to go your way. You can't be told no. If somebody tells you no or disagree with you, you got an attitude. You're going to stop speaking to them. You're going to roll your eyes when you see them. You're going to avoid them at all costs. You're a bully. If you have a prerequisite for something that you want done that's not biblical, you're a bully. If God has called somebody to do something and you don't like the way they look, don't like the way they sound, don't like the way they smell, you don't like something about them and you hinder them from doing it, you're a bully. If you are a ministry leader in your church and people come in with creative ideas, you don't like the idea because you don't like the person, or you feel like, oh, these people that coming in and they're trying to turn everything upside down and trying to push this thing forward, but this is the way that we've been doing it for years. This is the traditional way to do it, and you give them bad attitude and roll your eyes and crash and smash and tear down every idea that the person brings to the ministry because you don't like it, you're a bully. If you've been in a ministry for 20, 30, 40 years and now it's time for you to pass the baton and you refuse to train the people because you think that they're trying to take over what it is that you've been doing, you make them feel bad, you downgrade them and talk down to them and things of that nature because they're younger than you, you're a bully. If you sit on a pew in church and that's your corner of the pew and everybody knows that that's where you sit and somebody else sits there and you stop speaking to them and roll your eyes at them and give them attitude because that's your spot, you're a bully. If you sing on a choir and you're not going to let people sing anymore because you're the orchestra, the organist or the lead, the minister of music, and you're not going to let them sing their song because they gave you attitude, they did something you didn't like, you're a bully.
She was preaching. She was preaching. Yo. When she talked about the part where when she said you gotta pass the baton and you refuse to train people to take over. When she's talking about the elephant in the church is real, y'all. The elephant in the church is real. And I'm glad that she brought that up. And so did this young lady, because she actually tried to stitch the video, but she couldn't. So she just recorded her own video to follow up on what the other young lady said.
Hi there. I came across your video last night about the elephant in the church, and it just really just brought like so much confirmation to me, and I'm so glad that you spoke on it, because recently, the Holy Spirit like revealed to me that that's what I had experienced. And literally, I wish I could have stitched your video, but I couldn't stitch it. But like literally everything that you said in your video, I have experienced, and I didn't know how to voice that, because I never really thought, the thought never came across my mind that I would even be bullied in the church. And it was hard. It was very, very hard for me. Very, very hard for me. It was like there were literally times where I came home from church and had no peace. And I knew that it was not of God, that some of the things that I was experiencing, and out of all things, in those times, in those moments, I wanted to please God more than ever. And it just hurt my feelings. And I tried to, me at the time, trying to keep the peace and not really try to bother anybody. I realized that I was really doing myself more harm on the inside by keeping silent about that. But I thank you so much for just making that video, because even that just bears witness with my spirit, and just also with what the Holy Spirit had revealed to me, because I am in that mode of recovering from that. Because it's real hurtful to have people slander you in the church, to tell you that you're not anointed, to try to bully you out of a position, to make you doubt the voice of God, to make you feel like you're not doing the things that has been traditionally going on. And I just thank you so much for that. Like, it's really, thank you because like I wish I had the words. I did not know. And and even in that there, I noticed that over time in my life that I, a lot of things I kept silent about, and I'm still I'm actually still a bit tender from those moments there, because I'm still walking through healing from that. But I just thank you so much for just doing your video and just really voicing that, because I really didn't have words to put, to say in those moments. God bless you.
So guys, the 9 traits of church bullies. Church bullies are common in many churches. They wreak havoc and create dissension. They typically must have an enemy in the church because they aren't happy unless they're fighting a battle. They tend to maneuver to get an official leadership position in the church, such as chairman or the elders or deacons or treasurer, but they may have bully power without any official title. So guys, I mentioned this before, but I wanted to actually pull it up so that y'all could see what I was talking about earlier. When you're an elder or a deacon or a treasurer, you hold those positions of power. Listen, it can go to a lot of people's heads, but then also you can have the power trip before you even get in those positions. You can already want to be in that position of power because you have your sights set on doing something that you probably shouldn't be doing. Like when the young lady talked, the elephant in the church, when she talked about oh my goodness, I just lost my train of thought. But the reason why I lost my train of thought just now is because it's so many things rolling around in my head about different situations that done happened in the church. And when you're a treasurer, okay, I have a book for y'all to read, okay? Kimberla Lawson Roby. She wrote this book called Casting the First Stone. And the pastor was named Pastor Black. And he was a bully. And not only was he a bully, but he surrounded himself with other pastors who were bullies as well. And he was a bully in the ways like he knew that he had a position of power. And so he used it to get whatever he wanted. All right. We're talking about multiple women. We're talking about money. We're talking about things put in place that he shouldn't even have. And Too Much of a Good Thing, which was the second book in the installment, he because in the first book something happens and he ends up, trying to recoup his life or whatever, but he ends up turning around doing the same exact thing. But he was doing things like trying to get an ATM put in the church, trying to have it so it's linked up directly to people's bank accounts so he can get his tithes and offerings. A bully pastor is someone who is not of God, who is not trying to do anything. Like, you ever realize here's a good story. So I was watching a video where this guy was talking about how his mom had passed, and for all the years that she'd been alive, she was going to this particular church. And he said my mom, along with other people in the church, helped put enough money in the pastor's hands to build another wing of the church. And this same pastor looked him in the eye and said, when his mom passed, said to him, I don't know if I'll be able to do the funeral here. And the guy said, listen, if you don't do my mama's funeral here, you won't be doing another, because I will burn this place down. He was like, it makes no sense that you've been taking my mama's money for all these years, or his grandma. You've been taking my grandma's money for all these years, and you know my granddaddy brought her to the church and pretty much was like, oh, I'm a just sit in the parking lot, because he was like, because my granddad knew you was full of crap, and he was like, go ahead and play around if you want to. I got the gas in the car. And that pastor, sure enough, did his grandmama's funeral, because that's another way of bullying. You can't be sitting there taking people's money and then something like having a funeral for them at your church. You like, oh no, I'm not going to have no funeral, or we won't be able to do it, or whatever. Why not? That's using your position of power to get what you want and not be able to give back. And you ever try to get you notice you giving tithes and offerings, and you know this is a big church, and tithes and offering, and they stay having a building fund. The building is never paid off. The mortgage is never paid off on the building. They've been around for years and years and years and years and years. Where's y'all money going to? All these pastors out here, these big, you know, taking people money. Now I guess there could be a difference between corrupt pastors but what about that pastor who put his hands on the lady, and I think that guy just got arrested for fraud charges. That same bishop we was talking about, same pastor we was talking about months ago, he just got arrested on fraud charges, and I think he was the same one that got robbed at his church and then turned around and put his hands on the woman, thinking the woman was going to go and harm his wife. He said, well, I thought she was going towards my wife to go harm her and my child, so I had to do what I had to do. And it's just like, yo, there's another pastor, he was telling people, oh, well, my sister, she just started a church down the street, and you know, I don't want nobody going there because that's not of God. And you know, my mom, you know, it was just a whole bunch of stuff. Listen, there's a lot of people preaching right now who are not of God, who are not really the vessels that are supposed to be used to preach the word of God. And somehow or another, they got put in these positions, and now they're there. And it's hard to get rid of them. It ain't never been about doing the right thing or preaching the word the correct way, but they're somehow in these positions, and there's people co-signing them, and the people that try to do something about putting them, they get talked about, rumored about, all these different things too. And sometimes the rumor can be coming from the pastor himself. Or I don't know how Sister Jenkins gonna say something about me not being a good pastor in the church, but she on, you know, she popping pills and doing all this different stuff and just saying all this crazy stuff because they feel threatened and they feel like their position is being threatened. And so they're like, I'm going to lash out any way I possibly can. Let me go back to the comments. Bishop Whitehead. Yup, that's his name. Yup, Bishop Whitehead. Thank you, Sammy, for that. And Samuel also said that he wanted the church to be more accepting of the LGBT Q culture, which is in time this may happen. I think that sometimes it gets to a point where you get tired of wanting to be accepted and you just want to start your own. You just want to have your own. You just want to have your own. Not saying that people should be segregated or people should not be side by side you know, LGBTQ and straight people shouldn't be side by side, you know, worshiping God. I'm just saying, like, there are a lot of churches out there that do accept, and what I find is that a lot of people try to be accepted in places that they're not accepted, and just because I would just go to somewhere I was accepted. You get what I'm saying? At this point in time, because there's so many different churches out there, so many different churches that accept us, accept LGBTQ people, that, like, you don't have to go to that church. It was one situation where this guy, this pastor, he actually, it was this pastor, he called out this one man because he was actually dressed as a woman at the church. And he said that, like, every time I was hearing parts of the story, I was like, that makes sense, that makes sense, that makes sense, that makes sense. But you know, and I could go on and on about the church culture and the toxic church culture. It's not very favorable in women's cases either, because apparently we are temptresses, and we just got, you know, we're just Jezebels, and we walk around when we wear clothes too tight, or our skirt just is a little bit above the knee. We're trying to tempt the men of the church. And oh my gosh, it's just so crazy. I actually found a video for that too. It's a really short video, but I'm gonna close it out with this, y'all. When it comes to adult bullies, there's ways to just shut them down. You can ignore them. You can report them. When it comes to the church, that's like really tricky, because sometimes it could be the member, and sometimes it could be the person in the pulpit, and you gotta be real careful with that. If you really feel uncomfortable with that environment, it's sad to say a lot of people end up just leaving and going to find another church home. Should you have to? No, but if you really feel like it's an issue you should bring up, you can actually go over the pastor's head. You can go to the board and say something about it. Now, if the board is even not doing anything, then that's a problem in itself. But I'm gonna show this video real quick, and then we're gonna go into our music discussion for the night. So here we go.
Legs and hips and body.
So pretty much what they're saying is that what toxic churches are reducing women to is legs, hips, and body. They're not even, they just say that that's all we are in the church. That's how we're such temptresses, and we're Jezebels, and this, that, and the third, which is absurd. And that pretty much concludes my topic tonight on adult bullies in the church. Like I said, y'all, please check out the other parts that I have available for you guys that's on YouTube. Recently, I just checked the number on episode 50, which was last week. It has 96 views right now. So make sure y'all go and check that out. That was adult bullying in the family. And like I said, this entire series is a 5-part series. And so the first part was adult bullying in the workplace. Second part was adult bullying among friends. Then we had adult bullying in the family, and today was adult bullies in the church. And next week will be adult bullies, cyberbullying, which it can still happen to adults. All right. Let me see what I'm going to jump into now. So if y'all have any additional comments, please leave them below. But that pretty much sums up the topic for tonight. That was our hot topic.
I'm coming in hot.
So tonight I wanted to do something a little different for the music discussion. Most controversial Christmas song. Before we go into that, I want to shout out our sponsor. Our sponsor is Euphoria Water. Euphoria Water is the cleanest, healthiest water in Philly. Alkaline water with minerals, no chemicals, no additives, none of that crazy stuff in it. It is good and good for you. If you're going to hydrate the right way, get you your Euphoria water today. You can find Euphoria water on IG. And if you live in the Philadelphia area and want to have Euphoria water delivered to your home, you can call Captain at 267-707-8279. All right, so though that is our sponsor and most controversial Christmas song. So do y'all remember the song Baby It's Cold Outside? The song was written by Idina Menzel. But I was reading the lyrics, so I was like, hold up now. And this is not something that's brand new. It's actually been a topic that came up before on another forum a while back that I was just like, had me scratching my head. Like, but so I wanted to share it on my forum and see what people thought of it. But here's the lyrics. The woman is singing, I really can't stay. And he's saying, baby, it's cold outside. She said, I've got to go away. And he's saying, baby, it's cold outside. And she said, this evening has been so very nice. And he said, hoping that you drop in. He said, I hold your hands there just like ice. She said, my mother will start to worry. He said, beautiful, what's your hurry? She said, my father will be pacing the floor. He said, listen to that fireplace roar. So he's trying to divert her attention away from what she's saying. She said, so really, I better scurry. He said, beautiful, please don't hurry. She said, but maybe just a half a drink more. He said, I'll put on some records while I pour. She said, the neighbors might think, he said, baby, it's bad out there. She said, say, what's in this drink? So wait a minute, did he just slip her a Mickey? Did he just slip her a Mickey? He said, no cabs to be had out there. She said, I wish I knew how. He said, your eyes are like starlight now. She's like, to break this spell. So he was like, he's like, I'll take your hat. Your hair looks swell. And then she said, I ought to say, no, no, no. He said, mind if I move in closer? She said, at least I'm going to say that I tried. He said, what's the sense in hurting my pride? Now, they did switch up the lyrics a little bit after this was brought to people's attention, because they were like, hold up now, this sounds like he's trying to this is very I don't want to say the word, but this is seeming a little crazy right now. But he said, what's the sense in hurting my pride? Because she said, no, I don't want you to get closer to me. Yo, she said, I really can't say. He said, baby, don't hold out. She said, then they both say, baby, it's cold outside. She said, ugh, you're very pushy, you know. He said, I like to think of it as opportunistic. She said, I simply must go. He said, baby, it's cold outside. She said, the answer is no. He said, but baby, it's cold outside. And then she said, the welcome has been. He said, how lucky that you dropped in. She said, so nice and warm. He said, look out the window at that storm. She said, my sister will be suspicious. He said, gosh, your lips look delicious. She said, my brother will be there at the door. He said, waves upon a tropical shore. She said, my maiden's mind is vicious. He said, gosh, your lips are delicious. She said, maybe just a cigarette more. He said, never such a blizzard before. She said, I got to get home. He said, baby, you'll freeze out there. She said, say, lend me your comb. So I think they did something. He said, it's up to your knees out there. She said, you've really been grand. He said, I thrill when I touch your hand. She said, but can't you see? He's like, but don't you see? She said, how can you do this thing to me? Oh, wait a minute. Hold up. Let me go back. Because she said, you've really been grand. He said, I thrill when I touch your hand. She said, but don't you see? He said, how can you do this thing to me? She said, there's bound to be talk tomorrow. He said, think of my lifelong sorrow. So forget all the stuff that you won't have to go through, miss. I'm going to go through lifelong sorrow if you don't give me some. She said, at least there will be plenty implied. He said, if you got pneumonia and died. Because he said, oh, he's saying, think of my lifelong sorrow if you got pneumonia and died. Because she going to go out in the snow and get away from him and go home. And she should have been went home. But we're not going to victim blame. But we're going to just say, like, dude, really? And then she said, I really can't stay. He said, get over that holdout. And then they say, baby, it's cold outside. Baby, it's cold outside. And then she said, okay, fine, just another drink. And he said, that took a lot of convincing. Y'all just got to go and listen to that song because I was just like flabbergasted. What? I can't believe this is really saying this. And you know how you be like, listen to, baby, it's cold outside. I really can't stay. I got to get away. This night has been so really nice. And then it's like, but he's saying really crazy things. So like, y'all go ahead and listen to it. I thought that was a very controversial Christmas song because it was giving off, I must just say, it was giving off rapey vibes, okay? He sounded like he was trying to get in between them thighs, all right, by getting her drunk and giving her coming up with every excuse in the book why not take her home. Like, dude, give it up. She don't want to give it up. So just take her behind home or order her an Uber. Thank God we got Uber now. I'll be like, my Uber's outside. So glad I got a ride to get out your house. It's sure so damn crazy. Oh my gosh. So that has been my music discussion for the night. Y'all leave it in the comments if y'all got the same type of vibes, if y'all already knew that, if y'all didn't know that, if y'all learned something tonight. Let me look at the comments real quick. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. Oh, Samuel said it was very sexist. And let me see. Yeah, he put all Goofy in there. And she was like, hold up, what? And Charles said, I thought he was being a gentleman. Yeah, it might sound like that. Maybe in the 50s it sounded like that, but then now it was just like, wait a minute, hold up now. And then Tree will say he got a problem. Tree will say he wrote that in 1869. Try said, what's explicit about this? Okay, so I said most controversial. It's not really explicit, but it's giving off major rapey vibes. Try said they ratchet in 2022 with the Christmas songs. They definitely are. I just wanted to throw y'all off y'all game. I know there's a lot of people just probably thinking some other stuff like Twerk for Santa or something like that, but I wasn't talking about nothing like that. Try said I would have had her stay at the crib during the snowstorm. He said, what about I saw mommy kissing Santa Claus? Well, that's like a kid not knowing that Santa Claus is actually their dad in the Santa Claus outfit. Like Chai said he had the right idea, but I wouldn't need to get her drunk. And Sam said it didn't age well. No, it definitely didn't. It definitely did. So guys, that was the music discussion. Yeah. So here's the next part of, and then we're going to jump into our Jeopardy, my financial discussion for tonight. So this is Shia's financial tips. All right, so jumpstarting the financial conversation with your spouse. This was actually from an article written by Brittany Dixon that can be found on ahealthysliceoflife.com. She starts off by saying a quick Google search will reveal a plethora of articles that relate to finances to being one of the top reasons for divorce. We already know that divorce is like 60% right now. And one of the top reasons is definitely finance. So everybody would think it's like cheating and stuff like that, but that's like secondary because everybody always have a fight over money some type of way. And the surprising thing is that it isn't just a lack of money that causes this rift. You can be swimming in money and still have problems. It's the tension around differing money views and habits. Of course, we are all going to come into a marriage and come into a marriage with financial beliefs and practices that differ from our partners. But if we want a happy marriage, we need to make creating common financial goals and talking through spending habits a top priority. All right. So you want to start with the dreamer conversation. Discussing finances sounds so serious. While it is really important stuff, it doesn't mean it has to be boring or stiff. After all, money in and of itself is not all that important. What you can do with that money is. Starting with a conversation about your big dreams in life is so important because it aligns with your vision and provides you both with a strong why to hold on to when the process might become not so fun. And this conversation should take place when you are both relaxed and in a good mood. So now when things are heated up and y'all having an argument, y'all want to start talking about finances, because it could just lead to even more of an argument. Unless the argument is about finances, then y'all definitely need to talk about it. Print out an overview of your current financial situation. Let me get my words together. Print out an overview of your current financial situation. It would also show your net worth, which is the number worth tracking over the years. It's an essential part in getting on the same page with your partner about your current financial situation. So sit down with your partner, write down how much money y'all taking in, how much money is going out every month. Y'all want to do day to day, week to week, month to month, and then year to year. That's ideal. Sometimes we might go through the day, and I remember I used to spend $20, $25 easy at Wawa. Had to stop that because I was like, then I talk about I ain't got no money for something that I really, really need. So what I had to do was I had to cut out that spending at Wawa by just taking that trip to the supermarket and buying all my snacks and everything that I like to eat at the supermarket and just pack a nice bag with me to take to work, so I don't get tempted with going to Wawa and getting something that I definitely should not get. All right. So it's good to be proactive in these cases rather than reactive. And it's also good, even if you by yourself, to track your spending. You don't have to be in a relationship. Like, just take this and take these same things and say, this is something that I would like to incorporate in my financial plan. The next thing is create a common short-term goal. To get the excitement about tackling money together rolling, you need to unite behind a common achievable short-term goal. Maybe that's paying off a credit card or getting $1,000 in an emergency fund or saving up to pay cash for your annual beach trip. I would love to go on a beach trip annually. You know, sometimes it's not as easy as it sounds, right? But if you with a partner, y'all can be like, hey, how about we both tackle this credit card together? You know, or maybe take the highest bill that y'all have and say, we're gonna knock this off in the next 3 months. See if we can do it. You know, just something like that, which would kind of get the ball rolling and show that y'all are working as a team. Because when you're in a marriage, that's a team, right? So you want to always work as a team. Now, if you're by yourself, create a short-term goal for yourself and then reward yourself when you like, for example, I have a credit card that has a high balance that's still active, because there's some cards that have high balances that's maxed out that are no longer active, and even if you pay them off, you still can't use them. This credit card, however, is a secure credit card, so I would never be at a disadvantage or them saying, oh, even if you pay it off, you won't be able to use it, because that's my money that funded the credit card. If it was unsecured, then yeah. But when it's secured, then you paying it off, you can still go and use it afterwards, because that's your money that's funding the credit card. All right. So what I did was I told myself, Lashia, you're going to pay off this credit card in the next 2 months. And I worked my butt off and I paid it off in 2 months. And then I treated myself with something from Amazon. Because I was like, I did good. But then also you want to keep that card in use. So what I did was I treated myself, but then after that I paid that off. And then I used that card to pay recurring residual bills, like my light bill or my phone bill. So there is stuff that's residual coming out of my credit card, and then I just pay it off. And I know exactly what's coming out my credit card. I got a lot more responsible after I paid it off, because I'm like, I just paid off that credit card. Here you go. Decide who is responsible for what. While it's important to have team approach to finances in general, it's also finding good to divide up responsibilities. If you are in a trusting relationship, trusting being the key word, you can divvy up who will pay the bills, who's do this, who that. I'm put all the money in the joint check account, and that person will write all the checks to the companies and stuff like that. You have a trusting relationship, this can be done. I'm telling you, if you don't trust your partner in finances, why are you with that person? Because it's just like I'll go make money, but I can't trust her not to buy new shoes with it. And why are you with this person? Like, I wouldn't personally want to be with somebody that's financially irresponsible. You get what I'm saying? And I have my quirks, but at the same time, I realized that, I gotta keep a roof over my head, and I gotta keep food in my refrigerator, and I gotta, there's certain things that is just common sense that I have to do that I know. So I'm not gonna go, if I have a choice between paying the light bill and getting new shoes, I'm not gonna be a dummy and go buy new shoes. I'm gonna go pay my light bill. You know what I'm saying? Now there's some people that don't have self-control like that would rather go and buy the shoes. And I'm not saying they're undeserving of love, but I just think that when somebody is sitting down and planning a future with somebody, this should be a conversation had before you even get married. But when you're in the mix, these are some tips on how you can keep it going. Create a budget. That's self-explanatory. Create a budget. Track your money, check your spending. If you have a joint account, which I don't really recommend, but if you decide to get a joint account, make sure that y'all joint bills are coming from it. Don't have your student loans coming out of it, only your joint stuff. So rent, light bill, not even phone bill unless you have a house landline. Just all your separate stuff that only you would be penalized for if it's not paid should be paid out of your account, not the joint account. The joint account should only be paid out of for bills that y'all have jointly. All right. Create a vision board. This is for those people that need to see it, the visual people. Create a vision board for your big goal. If your big goal is to get a house, your big goal is to get a car for y'all. If big goal is to pay off your student loan debt, put it on a board so you can look at it every day and know what your goal is. And with it being right there in your face, it's hard to avoid it, right? So remember to be successful in discussing money with your partner. It's important to not assign blame. Also, understand that you are both approaching money from different backgrounds and therefore might have different views and motivations. That's expected and okay. So just be respectful of each other's different views and motivations. And work towards having a commonality between the two of y'all, because y'all both don't want to end up in the poorhouse, right? So that's the commonality right there. We don't want to end up in the poorhouse, so we got to figure something out, right? Talk to each other often about money, but not when one partner is overtired or stressed. So they used to do like dinner talks. Hey, honey, you know, how's that check, that account looking? Oh, great, honey. Like, I mean, that's ideal. I mean, you see it on TV shows every once in a while, but that's not realistic. Like I would say, like, just have a little chat once in a while. It don't have to be every day. It don't have to be every week. It could be once a month where we have a family meeting. Family meetings are really good. And if you have kids, it's even important to include them. Don't leave your kids out of the financial discussion, especially if y'all talk about saving and budgeting and all that stuff. Include them in the discussion too, so they're not lost. Now, what I would exclude from that conversation is like, we might be evicted if we don't pay this, or our lights might get cut off if we don't pay the light bill. Like, don't have that type of conversation around the kids. But when y'all talk about budgeting and saving towards a goal, maybe y'all could have a goal for the kids too, so they can know everybody is saving towards a goal. Especially if, like, a lot of parents like take the kids to Disneyland. And they say, hey, would you like to go to Disneyland? Yes. All right. So the parents are already doing their part to save up money to take the kids to Disneyland. But let's say there's a specific thing that the kid wants when they go to Disneyland. Like, they specifically want to go here to eat, or they specifically want to get on this ride, or they specifically want to buy this particular souvenir. Say, hey, I looked it up. This souvenir is $100. Let's do this. How about from now until the time we go to Disneyland, you save up $100, you can get that souvenir, and then work it out that way. Everybody is budgeting, everybody's working towards a goal. All right. Celebrate your financial wins. Like I said, treat yourself. Don't cheat yourself. And last but not least, seek a financial advisor. It's always good to have some outside help, have somebody there to help you get on point and on track with your money, outside of you guys. Also to serve as a mediator sometimes, because sometimes one person might not be heard. So if you have like a financial advisor that says, this is what I'm seeing, this is what you had, an outside force or person that's just looking at it objectively and not with any type of bias, then they'll be able to give you cut and dry to the point what you need to do to get on track financially. And I would suggest setting up an appointment with a financial advisor, financial coach today. That way you can find out your financial independence number by way of a FNA, which is financial needs analysis. It's free, so please go get it done. If you need the number, I can definitely get that to you, so you can have someone to talk to about your finances, just you by yourself, or if you have a partner, it's good to sit down and have that conversation. So that has been my financial tip. Hope you got a lot of value out of that one. I know I did. Now had me reevaluating some things going into 2023, so have to start keeping track of my financials a little bit better. Everybody's not perfect. Sometimes things slip through the cracks. Sometimes you have some unexpected medical bills that come up or something like that. So yeah, there you go. All right, guys, who we got in the comments? Oh my gosh, why is this thing? All right, so we got Q Smooth. What's up, Q Smooth? He said hi. Thank you for joining Think Different TV. We're gonna get into this Jeopardy. Let me pull up the. Why is this not working? Hold up, y'all. There we go. All right, y'all. I'm gonna post the link in the comments. That way, y'all can join in, so we can jump on this Christmas toy Jeopardy. It's gonna be fun, easy. There is $20 on the line. I want to see if y'all know these Christmas toys of the 80s and 90s. All right. So we already got one guest backstage. I'm trying to get two so we can make this an even playing field. If no one jumps on in the next 2 minutes, then we're just going to rock out with the one guest we have backstage, and no one can join in afterwards. Okay. We have 17 questions tonight. 17 questions for 100 point, for 200 point, for 300 point, for 400 point, and one final Jeopardy question. I have my handy dandy Think Different TV pen along with my handy dandy notebook. And I am waiting. If I don't get nobody in the next 2 minutes, I am going to just rock out with the person I had backstage. While we're waiting, I'm going to shout out my sponsor. Yet again, my sponsor is Euphoria Water. Euphoria Water is the cleanest, healthiest water in Philly. Alkaline water with the minerals. No chemicals, no additives. It is good and good for you. If you're going to hydrate the right way. Get your Euphoria Water today. You can find Euphoria Water on IG under Euphoria Water. That's UPHORIAWATER. And if you live in the Philadelphia area and want Euphoria Water delivered to your home, please call Captain at 267-707-8279. All right, y'all got that? We good? Okay, y'all. Once again, I said we're going to go into our Christmas toys of the 80s and 90s Jeopardy. This is going to be fun. Do you know these must have gifts? We still got one more minute to pull somebody in. Make these nice and quick, easy. All right, it looked like we just gonna rock out with who we got backstage. Let's look and see who it is. We got Try backstage. What's up, Try? What's up?
What's good? How you doing?
What's good? Can you hear me good?
I hear you, yeah.
Awesome. I can hear you. So, right. How you been enjoying the show?
I love it. It's good. I love the topics that you are bringing in.
Awesome. So here we go. Christmas toys of the 80s and 90s. Jeopardy, you was born in like the 60s, so you should know a lot of these toys.
I wasn't born in the 60s, no.
I'm just joshing you. So let's just get it started, shall we?
Yeah.
Now we're gonna start with our 100-point questions. Now we're gonna do this because you're the only competitor today. So I'm gonna see how many points you get. Okay. I'm scared. I'm scared because you can actually get all of these right.
Right.
Because I really did not.
I might lose all of them though. You never know.
Never know. So here we go. 100-point question. All right. This toy is based on animals with an insatiable appetite.
What is Hungry Hippo?
What is Hungry Hippos? Absolutely. It is Hungry Hippos. Yes. You had to hurry up and get the balls in your mouth. All right. Here we go. Pause, right? Just like Mr. Bucket. I'm still kind of scarred from that. He was like, Mr. Bucket, put the balls in my mouth. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Pause, Mr. Bucket. The next 100-point question answer is this toy played a big part in Home Alone 2, causing Kevin to lose his family trying to find batteries for it.
I know I forgot. I know that too.
3, 2, 1. And what is the Talk Boy?
Wow. I never had one of those.
I had to talk, girl.
Yeah, that.
I
Okay. It
was
looked like a
super hyped
Walkman.
about it too. Because you can take you do your voice, you can slow it down and be like,
Right.
ooh.
Wow.
So that was the second 100-point one. We're going to go to the third 100-point question, answer, whatever you want to call it. This toy speaks its own language until it picks up yours. 5, 4, 2, 1. And what is a Furby?
Furby. Wow.
Remember, it goes, and then before you know it, started speaking talk like you.
I remember Furby.
I only know that because my mom, she has a Furby. She still has a Furby. So, next 100-point answer. This toy is known for its different colored hair and no clothes.
What is Troll?
Yes. What is Trolls? Absolutely. All right. We're jumping into our 200-point question. Well, answers. Here we go. This toy can only do so much. The enjoyment is pulling its limbs to see how far they will go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And what is Stretch Armstrong?
I was gonna say Plastic Man, but okay.
What? What is that?
Like Plastic Man, it was a character, and you could like stretch his limbs out.
That's on your dollar store version.
Nah, it's a real character. He's like from DC, but he had like a cartoon back in the 80s, and like his limbs could like stretch out or whatever.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Never heard of that.
I'm serious. It's a real character.
I'm gonna look it up. You said Plastic Man?
Yeah, Plastic Man.
All right, I'm gonna look it up, but it definitely sounds like the dollar store version of Stretch Armstrong.
No, nah, he was cool with like Scooby Doo and Dynamite and those cats.
Oh my gosh, I definitely gotta look that up. Here's the next one. Draw a picture on this toy with help of dials, but be careful not to shake it up.
What is an Etch-a-Sketch?
What is an Etch-a-Sketch? Absolutely.
Michael Salt.
Yo, I used to hate, first of all, don't even get me, I used to hate Etch-a-Sketch picture. I was just like, forget this. I don't even want to play with it no more.
Yeah.
And then my brother would come over and be like, and I'm like, for real? For real?
It was crazy.
You really doing it? Next toy. This toy only has 3 commands. You must follow the command or you will lose.
What is Simon?
And what is a Bop It?
Bop It. I don't know that one.
Bop It.
When did that come out?
Pull it.
Bop It.
Yeah, you had to follow the commands or it'll be wrong. Yeah. All right, here we go. This toy took boxing to the next level, giving kids the opportunity to actually knock someone's head off.
Damn, I know that one too.
5, 4, 3, 2,
Forgot.
1. And what is Rock and Sock and Robot?
I forgot the name of them. Yeah. I remember those. I remember, yeah. So some of them is like I haven't seen them in like forever, so it's like I forgot the names of some of them, but I remember that one.
80s and 90s toys, you sure?
Yes.
You sure?
Yes, I had a lot of those toys back in the 80s and 90s. So
you did, and you don't even remember these?
I remember like He-Man and G.I. Joe. I had those like the popular ones.
Oh, okay. You had those. Okay, I'm gonna give you a pass. Here's the next one. 300-point answer. Here we go. This toy had little girls cooking foods with light bulbs as the heat source.
What is the Easy Bake Oven?
What is the Easy Bake Oven? Absolutely.
See, I remember that one. Yeah.
Next answer. This game has 4 colors, and you have to follow the sequential order to beat that game.
What is a Rubik's Cube?
No.
No.
What is
Oh,
Simon?
Simon. That was Simon. Okay.
That was
I
Simon.
had Simon too.
All right, here we go. Next 300-point answer. This toy comes with disc and has a lever to help you see the pictures on the disc.
What is a 3D Viewmaster?
I'll give you that. Viewmaster, Viewfinder, whatever. It is a Viewmaster. Viewmaster.
Yeah, I had that
I don't
too.
know why I said Viewfinder. You're absolutely right. 300 points. All right. Next 300-point question. Take turns in the game removing a block and placing it on top. Careful, don't make it fall.
What is Jenga?
What is Jenga? Absolutely. Now we're going into our 400-point answers. Here we go. Wait a minute. This bear was all the rage during the 80s. Its lips moved as it told stories on the cassettes entered into the back of it.
What is Teddy Ruxpin?
What is a Teddy Ruxpin? Absolutely. That's what it's called. All right. Next answer. This action figure is more than meets the eye.
What is Transformers?
What is Transformers? I know you knew that one.
Yeah.
I knew you knew that one. You're like, I had one of those.
I had like the whole collection.
Had the whole collection. What happened to them?
I mean, back then I wasn't like thinking of like keeping my toys, but if I had to go back in time, I would keep a lot of them because they like expensive now online. So
terrible. You know, I'm not gonna lie. I had a lot of toys too that I ain't got no more, and I treated them like crap. And then later, I was like, Dad, that don't worth money now.
Yeah, if I was 6 years old, I would have kept them. You know, if I knew that back then.
Especially all those stupid Beanie Babies.
Yeah.
Them Jones is worth money now. Here's the next answer before I get too upset that I ain't saved them to it. These dolls came with birth certificates and adoption papers.
What is Cabbage Patch Kids?
Absolutely. Cabbage Patch Kids, Cabbage Patch dolls. Absolutely. All right. Last 400-point answer. The original 6 of these figurines were Blossom, Bluebell, Butterscotch, Cotton Candy, Minty, and Snuzzle. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And what is My Little Pony, My Little Pony?
I remember that one. I remember them.
Yo, I just found out the names and I didn't know they had names. I
thought they just went by the color here or whatever.
That's what I thought too. Yeah. But then they got the cartoon of them now, so you're learning about the names and everything like that. And I saw a recent one. I was like, that's how they get down. Never mind. I'm gonna just shut up. Let me add up your points real quick. 400, 1600 plus 900. 25. Ooh, you got 2,500 points. So we're about to go into our final Jeopardy. So how much would you like to wager?
200.
200?
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. Final Jeopardy. Okay. You got your pen and paper?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. With 200 points on the line. This toy is a puzzle, and as of December 2022, the world record solve time is held by Young Shung Du at 3.47 seconds. Boom, boom. Before we even get that answer, shout out to Euphoria Water, our sponsor, the healthiest, cleanest water in Philly, alkaline water with minerals. You can find Euphoria Water at Euphoria Water on IG. And if you live in the Philadelphia area, you can get it from Captain. Just call him at 267-707-8279. Let me take a sip of my Euphoria Water, which is in my Think Different TV travel mug, which is stainless steel. So, final Jeopardy answer was this toy is a puzzle, and as of December 2022, the world record solve time is held by Young Shung Do at 3.47 seconds. And you have 200 points on the line. What is your answer, Try? What is a Rubik's Cube? And you are absolutely correct. It is definitely a Rubik's Cube. I'm going to pull it up right now. There you go. I still can't solve one of them stupid things. So I say it's a stupid toy.
And I had one. I had one too. I never finished it. I never got the hang of it.
I never, and then they had another one that wasn't just the squares. They had the one that had the different other cuts, and I was like, oh, nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, the keychain and all that, yeah.
I don't want to do it. So that's 2,700 points. So that means that I'm going to be sending you $27, a long way from that $5 you got the other night.
Thank you.
And you had $20 last week. So what do you be doing with all this money that you be taking from me, Try? Are you gonna be getting me a Christmas gift?
I got to get you something because I've been winning from you since like what, October, September. So I gotta get something for you.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Matter of fact, what you can do is make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell on our YouTube channel so that you don't miss out on any episodes, replays, or exclusive interviews from Think Different TV. And make sure that when you're on here, Try, you share the live. Share the love by share the live.
I always hit people up. It's like they don't want to come on and battle me. I don't understand.
Well, I saw them in the comments. I see people in the comments.
Crazy.
A lot of people. Oh, we got Mike's Movie Corner and Rant. What's up, Mike's Movie Corner and Rant?
What's up, Mike?
Let me see who else we had. Oh, Tree will say he had a Bop It. He had a Bop It.
I don't know that one.
And a Rock'em Sock'em Robot set. I know that's what's up. So definitely Try. It's always a pleasure. I hope you have a wonderful holiday. Hope to see you here next week for the 52nd episode, the last episode of the year. That's so crazy to say because I feel like I just started this.
Right.
That was the first episode of the year, and that was the last episode of the year, and then we're going into our second season, which will no longer be at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Guys, we are rolling it back an hour. We are going to be on at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That way, we can be in bed a little bit earlier, right? Right. But also, I know Try don't got no bedtime. He like, I'm up all night. I'm nocturnal.
Yeah, I stay up late.
He stay up late. He stay up mad late. But shout out to everybody that came on to Think Different TV today. Tuned in, was in the comments. We had Reg, we had Samuel, we had Ronnie, we got Mike, we got Trevo, LaFarre. We had did I say Samuel already? We had Samuel.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Shout out to Q Smooth who jumped in. And I just thank all of y'all for tuning in tonight. Try, your money is on its way.
Thank you. Appreciate
just
it.
Be patient with me. It's coming very soon. And I enjoyed you tonight. Thank you so much.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
So guys, that concludes another episode of Think Different TV. I enjoyed you guys. I really appreciate you guys. I don't want to get too emotional, so I gotta hurry up and jump off of here. But I am so happy to have something to call my own. And Think Different TV is definitely that for me. It is my own. It is my home. Is where I love to be every Monday night. We're rolling it back an hour. Remember that. All right. I'm going to announce it again next week. So if you jump on at 9 o'clock on the 2nd, and we're already deep into the discussion, you done already missed the hidden and quitters and all that other good stuff. But I'm telling you, We're gonna have some new things coming to you guys. I can't wait. I'm so excited. So y'all have a wonderful night. And as always, have a great week. And I'll see you all next week. Maestro, can I get that intro, please?
Think Different TV. Live every Monday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hosted by me, your girl Ashia. Join me as I discuss social topics, spotlight independent artists, and share financial tips. Come on in and join the conversation. I want to hear what you have to say. Think Different TV, where minds meet.